Hello YouTube, I'm back again. This time I'm doing a video reply to Pie and Coffee. Now, interesting thing, before I get into this video reply, I, when I first got back into the pipe smoking community on YouTube, this time producing content, I went through and I looked and see who was cool right now. I went and checked all the different people, and I followed a bunch of other people. Now, most of these people, I watch a few videos, followed them if I like them, and didn't think anything more of it. Waited for them to pop on my feed, watch their videos, comment. That's worked out well. Well, I watched Pie and Coffee at that time, and somehow I didn't subscribe to him. So, sir, if you're watching this and thinking I'm jumping on the bandwagon to be a subscriber so I can enter into your contest, I actually tried to follow you before, and I had no idea I wasn't following you. It's not that. Anyways, yes, for a story of your father, or if you are a father, a story of you being a father. I'm not a father, but I had a story I wanted to share anyways on Father's Day, and that's this story. But I need to give you a little bit of background. First off, I'm from Western Massachusetts. Now, if you've ever been in Western Massachusetts or know somebody that's from Western Mass, then you know that we have hot, humid summers, cold, wet, snowy winters. Okay? Oh, by the way, I'm smoking Frog Morton on the Bayou in my little cob warning. Well, so my dad, and he's a farmer. We're living on a farm at this time. I don't think we had any animals at this point. My dad was in an accident, and we got rid of most of our animals. We had dairy cows, and then after his accident, we got rid of them, and a few years later, we picked up goats. And I think this is in the lull between having goats from cows. My dad, it's the middle of winter, and he's in walking around, looking around in the property, and he sees that one of the outlying barns, a barn that we don't even use, that's already falling apart, because it's like from the early 1900s. He sees that there is a tree leaning on the roof of this barn. My dad's not a handy person. He made goat pens out of used pallets and baling twine. So that should tell you something. But he got in his head that he was gonna take down this tree. Now this tree is on the back side of the barn, and the barn is sitting right at the top of a really steep hill, nearly like cliff steep. So this tree trunk is on a hill that's like this. The tree trunk would be like right here. Okay, so that should give you an idea of what we're talking about. And we had ice storm after ice storm. So his reasoning behind taking down a tree was sound. You know, another ice storm, this tree could crush the barn. I get that. And of course, we don't have a lot of money because we're farmers, we don't have any animals. So he decides he's going to do it himself. So he takes this old chainsaw uh, that doesn't work very well. It has some weird things about it. You have to, jiggle it the right way, yank the cord the right way, and pump the gas and yank the cord, and all these different things. Like you have to know how to get the thing to turn on, turn it on, right? He gets in his Carhartt full body suit, goes out there and chainsaw, doesn't tell anybody what he's doing. I don't know. I'm like 8 years old. My mom doesn't know. Nobody knows. And it's nighttime. It's like 7 o'clock at night, which in Massachusetts in the wintertime, 7 o'clock at night is dark. Okay? So he goes out there with a flashlight, sets the flashlight up, and positions himself next to a tree. Keep in mind, ice, steep hill. And he starts cutting at this tree, and apparently there was like a knot in it or something, and a chainsaw kicked back, and he started to lose his balance. Now, in his own words, he says, I knew the right thing to do in this situation. I can fall, but I really don't want to be holding onto an active chainsaw when I fall. So he takes a chainsaw, throws it up the hill. Now, normally, this would be a perfectly sound thing to do, except that the kill switch wasn't working on it. So my dad starts to slide backwards on this hill, then ends up on his belly, sliding down this hill. And facing him, just like this, blade first, is an active, spinning, angry chainsaw with a broken kill switch going straight towards his face. So he's sliding down this hill trying to scramble to the side as he's being chased down a hill by a chainsaw. I don't know how he got out of it. He said he rolled away and let himself get hit by a tree that was at the bottom of the hill, and a chainsaw went off into what would normally be a brook, but this time of year was obviously frozen. And then afterwards, he came into the house and told us what he did. Just a matter of fact, my mother flipped out about this, as you can imagine. I mean, jeez. I mean, one, that's just stupid of him to do it in the first place. Two, the safety concerns. I mean, if that was an actual job site, OSHA would have had a field day with that shit. But wow, it's a lot of smoke. He didn't really see a problem with what he did. He was always like that. I say it was. He's still like that. He'll do stuff that he knows he's not supposed to do just because it has to get done. He won't wait for help. He has a bad back now, and when I was living up there, he's better than he was, in this sense. But when I was living up there all the time, I would be at work. My mom would go to a meeting because they do foster care now. So she'd be like an hour away at a meeting. And he'd be home alone. He would decide, you know what? I really need to move this heavy piece of furniture from the living room to the basement. And he wouldn't wait for me to get home from work. I would gladly help him, but he didn't wait for that. Nah, he would have to try it himself. I have so many stories about him. I mean, just to give you an idea, my dad was run over by a tractor twice. His big injury that I mentioned before was caused by a cow falling on him. He jumped into a shit pit. Yeah, you heard that right. A shit pit. A pit of shit. Let's see. Run over by a round bale. Got stuck in a grain chute. Almost fell 3 stories because of his wedding ring getting caught on a hay bale. Basically, you know those dads you see in movies and a lot of people talk about where their dad sits them down and gives them life advice and stuff? My dad did that. But some of the biggest advice my dad gave me was just by saying, or just by what he did. So I wouldn't do shit like that. My dad's a great man. I love him to death. But he does not think before he acts, or he only thinks things half through. But that's all for this video. I'm glad I saw that contest that Lunchie was doing. Until next time, see you folks later.